Have you ever been told that being nice to girls will make them like you? I was told that my entire life, but that never got me any attraction from girls. Meanwhile, the attractive guys at my school basically treated them like shit, but somehow they were the ones who were chased. So I started copying their behavior because I thought, well, it's what gets girls, right? But even then, nothing changed. So one day I finally took one good look at myself in the mirror, and that's when it hit me. Oh, so that's why. I then became obsessed with improving my looks. People told me that building muscle will help you change your face, so I started going 5-6 times a week for 2 years straight. But my face still didn't change. But I was then told that you just need bigger muscles. So I started to train 2 to 3 times a week for another 2 years. And I built my dream physique. But my face, however, still hadn't changed. Then one video changed everything. It was this guy who was on Instagram and he had made a transformation video on Looksmaxing. He said that you can train specific muscles in your face to become more attractive. So I actually bought his course to learn how he did it. And honestly, it was the best decision of my life. I learned the basics of how I could change my face just by doing a couple of facial exercises every single day. 3 months passed and I swear to God, I started to see a bit of a difference. 6 months passed and now I start to get complimented by girls on my looks, and I started to go on more dates, and all of a sudden my confidence just started to getting built up. 8 months has now passed, which is the current me, and I swear to God, my current girlfriend and her mother, when they saw my pictures, they literally thought they were AI generated. And all I did was literally just train what I call the 4 key facial muscles. And that's exactly what I'm going to teach you in this video, so you can become more attractive, so you can start attracting more girls as well. So let's move on to muscle number 1, which is called the masseter muscle. So what is the masseter muscle? So the masseter muscle is basically just your chewing muscles that we have right out on our end here. But now you may ask, but why do we need to train these muscles and what will it do? So if you take a look at the screen right now, you can clearly see that I have a before and I have an after picture. On this picture, it was this summer when I was 18 years old. I think I hadn't turned 19, and here I'm at like middle 19. So basically, if you take a look at my jaw area here, you can clearly see I have no definition. And furthermore, there is some asymmetrical parts of my face. You could easily imagine if we try to like just make a straight line like this, you can clearly tell that I am not symmetrical. I have uneven parts of my face. Actually, it looks like my jawline is going slightly to one of the sides. And that is actually because that one of my masseter muscles is more developed than the other one. And I am pretty sure that this muscle right here was the one that is the most developed. So basically, what I just had to do in order for me to fix the asymmetrical parts is that I just need to train more of my weaker side. So basically, as you can see on the right side here, you can clearly see this is still stronger than the other one, like my left side. But you can see that my right side has actually started to pop off as well. But I still need to focus more on that side. And the way that we do that is when we are eating. That is when we are training this muscle, because again, it's our chewing muscles. So what you just want to think about is chewing harder food, because when we chew harder food, you will activate more of the muscle. Another bonus tip that you can do is to chew for more reps. So imagine chewing is like going to the gym. You want to get as many reps as possible, but also, of course, we don't want to do 100 reps at once, right? So you want to do hypertrophy. That's why I said to eat harder food. But probably right now you're only chewing like 5 to 6 times on your food before you swallow. You actually want to chew on your food between 20 to 30 times on your food. That is how you really get that hypertrophy for your masseter muscles. But even if you don't have an asymmetrical jawline, it's still a benefit to train it, because you can clearly see how much more attractive it made me when I got wider masseter muscles, because it gives you more of a masculine look instead of having this look over here where you basically don't have any definition at all. It makes you look like, it gives you more feminine features. But in this video, I'm only going over what kind of muscles we can train in our face to become more attractive. But that won't save you from acne or your hair. For example, if you don't know how to style your hair, maybe you have a puffy nose or a puffy face, which means that you hold on to a lot of water. And if you want me to help you with fixing all of these problems, I have a program where I teach you all of that inside. Furthermore, I go on frequent one-to-one calls, so I can just take one look at you and I can help you exactly with what problems that you have. It will save you so much time and energy, so you don't have to do all the researching yourself. If you're interested in this, then go have a look at the top link of the description. All the details are there. Now let's move on to muscle number 2, which is something called your hyoid bone. So what is our hyoid bone, you may ask? So our hyoid bone is a bone that we have right under our chin here, which goes upwards here. It's shaped like a U, and it's a bone that holds up our muscles, tissues, and etc. And one thing that it specifically do, which is so attractive for us, is that it tightens up our skin down here, so we get a sharper looking jawline. And that is actually exactly why we want to train it. So if you take a look at the screen again, you can clearly see again that there is 2 before pictures, which is the left side and the middle one. And then I have my after picture on the right side. And the only thing that basically is the difference from these pictures is that I trained my hyoid bone. Basically, I raised it up by training some muscles that we have around our throat area, called the suprahyoid muscles and our infrahyoid muscles. Because when those are trained, the muscles around your neck, which is the infra is around your throat area, and your supra is the ones that are under your jaw area here. And when they are trained, they will literally pull up your hyoid bone. Because when our hyoid bone isn't raised properly, you can clearly see that we have some, it looks like fat or just some skin that we have under here, which completely ruins our jawline. Like, we have no definition at all. For some people, like, there's 2 reasons for why we have this basically. First of all, you are overweight, so you just need to go on a calorie deficit. But there's also a lot of people who are actually lean and skinny, but who still has skin or hanging or fat hanging off here. And that is actually just because you haven't been training your hyoid bone. So when your hyoid bone is trained, your skin here will literally get tightened up, as you can see it is on the right side here. So you get such a more clear and a good definition on your jawline, which will just make you so much more masculine and attractive. So the exercise that we want to do in order for us to train the supra muscles and our infrahyoid muscles, so we can raise our hyoid bone, we want to do 2 specific exercises. The first one is called progressively overloaded chin tucks. The reason why we want to do this exercise is because, first of all, the reason why your hyoid bone is properly lowered is because your neck posture is all fucked up. You probably have this gaming-like posture because you have been doing so much video games. When you look at your phone, your head is just tilted downwards. So that's why we have been fucking up our neck posture. And when our neck posture gets fucked up, our hyoid bone kind of gets lowered because our muscles and tissues aren't aligned properly. So the way that we fix this is, of course, by doing progressively overloaded chin tucks, as I just talked to you about. And the way that we want to do this is that you want to stand up against a flat surface. It could be your wall or your door. And then what you want to think about is, as the name implies, you just want to tuck your chin into your neck. Basically, you want to think about making as many double chins as possible. And when you're doing this, you want to have your hands together, just like if you were going to pray. And then your thumbs are going under your jaw here, so you have some stability. Then this part goes into here. And then what you want to do from here is just doing a normal chin tuck, but just where you apply the pressure upwards, so you get more resistance, just like if we were going to progressively overload it at the gym. Doing this over enough time will train your suprahyoid muscles, Plus it will fix your neck posture, which will be the first step to getting a more attractive jawline. The second exercise that you can do to more isolate the suprahyoid muscles is to lie down on your bed with your head hanging off. And then what you want to think about here is just doing a chin tuck again, but now you're just lying down, so you have more gravity towards it. So think about pulling your neck as far behind as you can. If you try to do it with me right now, you can literally feel the stretch on your throat area here, which was your infrahyoid muscles. Then when you do the contraction part, you want to think about rolling your neck inwards and then tucking in your chin inwards. When you do that part, you will train your suprahyoid muscles, which again will raise your hyoid bone. Simply just do these exercises to failure and you will be good to go. I believe that looks are such an important metric in our lives because it gives something called our halo effect. Basically, it's how people perceive us. It's just a fact that people easily perceive us as a better human being if we are more attractive. And that's why I actually want you to go down into the comments and tell me a story of where you have seen this specific thing. So for example, when I told you in my school that all my crushes, they never really gave a shit about me. They could be my friend, but they never wanted to do any escalating with me. Like they didn't want to kiss me, they didn't want to do all the holding hands and stuff. So what story do you know which you have been in a similar situation? I would love to hear it. So go down into the comments and tell me. So now let's go to muscle number 3, which is something called the Orbicularis oculi muscle. So what is it? So the Orbicularis oculi is basically just the muscle that you have all around your eye area here. So why should we train it now, you may ask? And if you take a look at the screen yet again, you can also see that there's a huge difference from the left side to the right side. You know how it is. So basically, if you take a look at the eye area, the reason why we want to train it is because we have certain bad things or bad traits, we can call them, for our eyes. First of all, you have a lot of eye upper lid exposure. So as you can see, there's a lot of skin showing from my eyebrow to my eyes, which is not so attractive because it gives us the prey looking eyes. The second thing is something that I call having the ghost look, and that is where your eyebrows go upwards and then it goes downwards again. So it kind of goes like a rainbow, you could also call it. I call it the ghost look because it's like that you are scared of something, right? Your eyebrows go upwards. So that is the second bad trait. The third bad trait you can have is that one of your eye muscles is actually pulled higher than the other one. So that could also be a metric for having an asymmetrical face. As you can see clearly, my left eye is actually raised higher than my right side eye. You can see when I try to draw a straight line, you can see that my left side is raised way more than my right side. And you can literally train this just by doing the exercise that I'm going to show you in a minute. But the thing is, when we have all of these bad traits, you will have what's called a negative candle tilt. That's what it will look like, where your eyes just go in a straight line. You can also have something called a negative, where your eyes goes like this, and you can have a positive where it goes like this. But the point is that when these are trained and you fix these things, you will look like this on the right side. You can see how my eyebrows are now in a positive tilt, and my eyes, they don't have a positive candle tilt because that's just genetics, but we can actually make it look like that I have a positive tilt because my eye upper lids has went down and my eyebrows are going in a positive tilt. So people will actually perceive you as someone who has a positive candle tilt. And you can also see that I've fixed my asymmetrical parts with my eyes. So now when I draw a straight line, they actually go in the same line instead of on the left side where one of them is raised higher than the other ones. So the way that we want to train this is also by doing 2 exercises. First of all, you do something called the eye pulling movement. So basically you take your index fingers by the end of your eyebrow and then you want to try to grab the muscle tissue that you have under here. And then what you want to think about here is just twist your fingers to the side so your vision kind of becomes a little bit blurry. And then you just want to pull it as much sidewards and a little bit upwards as you can. Then when you feel like there's a stretch on your eye muscles, you just want to squint down as hard as possible, but without closing your eyes. Because when you do this, you are activating your muscles by contracting them. When doing this over enough time, you will feel a big burn over your muscle through the set, and over time, your muscles will literally get pulled upwards and to the side, which will give you that nice looking positive tilt. If again you had the asymmetrical parts where one of your eyes is higher than the other one, you just simply train, just like with the muscle, a little bit more on the weaker side so you can kind of balance them out. The second exercise you can do is for us to raise our eyebrows downwards. Remember that we had the ghost look. If you have that, simply just do a method model agencies uses, which is something called the UUDD method. It basically just stands for up, up, down, down. So what you want to do is simply just go upwards with your eyebrows, raise them as high as possible. Then you want to look upwards as much as possible, so you kind of feel a strain on your headache here, or a headache. And then you want to think about closing your eyebrows, so making an angry face, really over-exaggerate this movement so you learn how to get your eyebrows downwards. Then what you want to do from here is simply just tilt your head a little bit downwards, and then you just want to look back down. And now you have the standard eye looking for having hunter eyes. So now let's move on to the last muscle, which is muscle number 4, which is something called the hard palate. So the hard palate is basically just the roof of your mouth right behind your teeth. So not on the teeth, but the roof of your mouth behind it. A lot of people misunderstand this concept, as a lot of people push it on their teeth. You don't want to do that, because then you will fuck up your teeth and get an overbite, which will then you will need to get braces and all fucked up things. So if you take a look at the screen again, you can clearly see there's a difference as always, but you can see that the difference is that my jawline is actually way longer now. You can see how much it has gotten forward, and that is exactly what you get when you train your hard palate, which again was the roof of your mouth right behind your teeth. Because the thing is, when we apply pressure on top of that part, imagine that you have a flat wall here, right? You will then push something forward called your maxilla, which is your upper jaw area here. And when that gets pushed forwards and upwards, your jawline will follow through it, so it gets more in a straight line, so your jawline will look like this. As you can also see, it's also something to do with your posture, that your neck is in a straight line and not going like inwards like this. So the exercise, like the action set that I just want you to do, is simply just apply pressure with your tongue up against your palate, so it looks like this. Then you want to close your jawline, and then you want to think about pressing it upwards, so you're going up against your tongue, and then your upper part here, like your roof of your mouth, think about squeezing that part downwards, so they go like this against your tongue. Then what you want to do from here is simply just swallow. And now you're doing mirroring correctly. If you want to get quicker results, you want to do something called hard mirroring. That's just where you apply as much pressure as possible with your tongue upwards and forwards against the roof of your mouth, you know, the hard palate. When you're doing this over enough time, for like some months, consistently every single day with that exercise, you will literally get a reverse effect. So you won't have a recessed maxilla, you will have a forward grown jawline, which is the most attractive thing that you can have. But even after watching all of these tutorials, it's still kind of difficult to get the technique down right. Think about it, it's probably one of the first time that you have seen these kind of exercises. Imagine if you saw an exercise from the gym doing the bench press. When you came up to the bench press at the gym the next day, did you then do the exercise completely correct? Probably not, right? And that's why that it would be so much easier to have a coach who could tell you exactly what you're doing wrong, so you can fix your mistakes, so you can get faster results, and so you don't get imbalanced muscles because one of your sides is right now stronger than the other ones. So that is why that I really recommend you to go down and join my program, because that's where I do calls with you, so I can teach you exactly how to do all of these exercises the correct way, so you don't fuck up anything and you will just save so much time. Again, it's in the top link of the description, all the details are there. So now that we are at the end of this video, I really want to give you a thank you for watching this far of this video, because think about how much you have been doing for yourself. You could have been masturbating, watching porn, you could scroll on Instagram, and just get dopamine, but you have chosen to educate yourself, and I'm so proud of you for that. That is exactly why that I know that this channel will be the best solution for you. It's my free content, and it's where I teach you how to become the most attractive version of yourself. So if you want to be part of this, then I will highly recommend you to go down and click subscribe to my channel. If you want to keep on learning, then go have a look at this video over here. Thanks for watching and have a wonderful day, bro. Mwah!